special interviews here at the Government Information Service. I am Sherry Ann Noel. And during this interview, or I'd like to say during this conversation, I have with me Afibah Mc Queen. Some of you may know him, some of you may know of him. But as we call him for short, Afibah. Afibah has been involved in the music industry in Grenada for a number of years. He has produced a number of our local artists over the years. Then he, during life's journey, he would have encountered certain challenges based on ill health and so. And most recently, he is involved in farming. He is here on this conversation, as I said, to share his journey with us. Afibah is a well-known name, and some of you, as I mentioned before, may have heard of him or may have known of him. But I want to go back to Afibah's journey before we come to the main reason why he's here with us, which is to share. It's a project that he's on. He's into farming and he's looking for some assistance. He is a diabetic, so he has certain challenges. He's also a caregiver. He's also a father. So his story is wide and it's very interesting. And he's going to share it here today so that you will see the need to give him the assistance that he's looking for so that he can continue to support his family. He also has a brother who is not well that he's looking after, despite the fact that he too has his challenges. So before we get to all these nitty-gritties, I just want us to go, Afibah, to just go back and let us speak a bit to Afibah in terms of your journey as we speak music first before we come down to the farming.
Okay, well, I've been into music production and video production for the past, I'd say, 20 to 25 years. As you said, I produced a lot of the known Grenadian artists before they were known Grenadian artists.
That's right.
Music and entertainment would always be a part of me. It's not something that I could move away from. I mean, situations kind of have me in a way now, but I'm always interested. I still produce beats, I still write songs, I communicate with artists regularly. There are one or two artists that are emerging artists now, not necessarily in the field of soca. I'm doing a lot of Afro beats, a lot of hip hop, a lot of dancehall. Nothing like on a large scale now, because I no longer have my recording studio, so I just assist where I can.
Okay. So it's important to speak to, the Mr. Killers and so, but you say you no longer have your recording studio, but you still speak with the passion for the music. You said it would always be a part of you. What is the reason that led to you not having a studio anymore?
In 2017, my adopted mom was diagnosed with renal failure, end stage, and was placed on dialysis. After running through my savings, I had no choice but to sell out most of my recording studio equipment.
Okay, and how difficult was that for you? Because that was partially your main source of income as well.
Well, it wasn't, because life was more important at the time. So trying to save her it took precedence.
Right.
Yeah, so it wasn't a difficult choice. I mean, like now, not having it, like I miss the music because it was a form of therapy, like it was just something that took me away from a lot of things, stressful situations. I would just go to the studio and do the music. I no longer have that. So, my new thing is a garden.
Right. So apart from your mom being diagnosed with renal failure, and we all know what transpired there, you also have a brother who you are taking care of as well. And I want us to speak a bit to you, because you're saying that you also have
Yeah.
one of these. I think it's that diabetes,
Yeah.
which you have to fight to control yourself. And diabetes is not an easy something for a young person. So
Well, I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2007, and at a young age. Um, when I was diagnosed, I wasn't really given any real information. It's just like, you have sugar, here's these pills, take them, So I didn't understand the dieting. I didn't understand a lot of things about diabetes. So to be truthful, it wasn't something that I took serious.
okay,
Coming down through the years, as it started taking a toll on me, I had no choice but to start researching. But a lot of the damage was already done. In 2017 as well, I had my first amputation. And for anybody who's diabetic and had any form of foot injury, like something broke your foot or cut here, you would understand how quick infections happen in a diabetic person. It's not like a normal thing. So I got a bruise under my toe, and I just took it normal. Like, it wasn't something like, so let me check this, because you're not aware of what could happen. So within a matter of days, my foot started feeling funny, like cramped tight in my calves and everything.
okay,
Then the next thing I know, I was just vomiting uncontrollably. Go to the hospital, they tell me, okay, well, you're going septic. We don't have no choice, we need to cut off the toe. Like, I didn't even have time to think about, my toe would not get cut off. All I know is how I was feeling like if I was going to die.
okay,
So I'm like, okay, just cut it off. The minute time they cut it off, all the vomiting, all the feelings, everything just went away immediately. So I know it wasn't a bad choice.
right,
So after that, it took a very long time for me to heal. To have to keep the sugar in check. The toe keep getting infected, sometimes reinfected. You have to go cut it open again.
wow,
Eventually, after about a year and a half, 2 years, the toe closed up. I was on my foot for a little bit again, doing little things. At that time, I have no music. I started doing the research with the diabetes. So one of the things that I found out is that diet and exercise was most important, even more so than the medication. Once you're dieting and you're exercising, you stand a good chance you probably mightn't even have to be on the medication. So I changed my diet. I was really enthusiastic about it. Started eating real healthy and thing. And then shortly after, I realized eating healthy is not cheap.
right.
So
It's costly.
it's costly. So I started farming a bed of lettuce behind the house. Just one bed of lettuce. 6 lettuce on the bed. And eventually, where I live is a residential area. We had lawn and so on. I just catch myself digging up the lawn and turning the whole backyard into a garden. That went well for a while. I had way more food than I could consume. Then I realized, okay, this could be an income for me.
Right.
So I started selling to supermarkets, people in the village, whoever I could sell to. But at that time, I wasn't into organic farming. I was just farming using chemicals and so on. Eventually, again, not understanding the effects of diabetes, I started experiencing neuropathy, which is nerve damage, so hardly feeling under my foot. No feelings under the foot. And when it reaches to that stage, if you're not extremely careful, you will just be back in the same situation where I started with the infection. So something as simple as a little, almost microscopic piece of glass would make you lose your foot. Again, I got injured, lost another toe. This time, when I lost the first toe, they said that I would lose my balance and so on. I didn't really lose the balance, but when I lost the second toe, it changed everything. It was a whole different ball game. I couldn't move as fast as I wanted to, run, like something as simple as jumping over a drain.
You couldn't do that.
Like even up till this day, it's difficult. Like I could probably do it, but in my head, like I'm like after being down so long,
you feel as if you're
like I felt like I'm afraid to run or leap, climb a tree, you know. So after all these ups and downs, my brother suffered 2 strokes. He's younger than me. And when he suffered the strokes, he basically became crippled.
Wow.
So he can't walk. He's in a wheelchair. And over the last couple of years, he deteriorated. He suffered bed sores and so on, had to do minor surgeries. Up till this day, the bed sores not healing. They're not healing properly. So it would heal up and then just break down. So he's in no position to help himself. So again, the mantle falls onto me. It's difficult. I can't help him as much as I want to because I'm in my situation for myself. So the farming is, you don't have to physically be doing all the work in the farming. If I have equipment, because I can't use a fork,
right,
I can no longer stand for long periods of time to cutlass. So if I have equipment which could ease the burden, then the farming is doable for me. You know, once I plant a sustainable amount of crops and generate enough income, I would be able to hire assistants. So I would not just be a farmer, but I would now be a proper business owner,
right,
employing as much people as possible, because as my business expand, I'm going to keep paying it forward. You know, because being in this situation, from traveling all over the Caribbean, touring with the music and everything, being in this situation, it's difficult, but it's like having to start over new. Everything is new.
Okay.
Most people would probably see it as a down situation. I just see it as having to learn to walk again, just going over. I try to not see the difficulties, because if you focus on it, it's just going to crush your spirit. Like, as I say, simple things I would like to do, and I'm unable to do them. The thought of that alone, and I feel it for people who have been disabled or in that situation for the whole life, because you could only understand if you live in it.
Okay, because my next question to you would be, how do you deal with the challenges? How do you face the day? Because as a family person, and so how do you face the day knowing that what was and accepting, because based on how you're speaking, which is very important, is that you have accepted your particular condition, but how do you prepare for the day? You know, sometimes able-bodied people, you may wake and based on certain situations, you just don't know how to move forward, how to turn for that day, but how does people do it?
By just taking every day as it comes. It can't, if you allow yourself or allow the negatives to cloud your mind, you would never move forward. As I say, for me, I just see it as something new because it's a whole new experience. You get to learn new things. You get to have a deeper understanding of a lot of things. You know, it's just it's just you just need to understand this is what it is and just move forward. Don't lament on what was, because if you're living in the past, you just can't move forward if you're just trying to remain there. Because if I go to think about how it was, it would depress me.
Okay.
You know, like when in that early years of doing the music, it was lucrative. You know, I could afford to upgrade my equipment almost every year. Yeah. You know, and like, I don't even want to put myself there. I just want to just move forward. As I say, it's difficult, but it's doable.
Okay. So let's talk in terms of your children, you know, people have your children and you have to explain to your children how things is with dad, and so what's the relationship like in terms of them understanding the challenges that dad is going through?
Well, my kids they're old enough to understand, especially my older daughter. We have a lot of conversations about it, and she's the most sensitive one. The younger one, you know, she understands as well, but the bigger one is the one she would be like, Dad, it's okay, you know.
Right.
Like sometime a body might come along and I don't have it, and you know, I'm like, I don't have it, and she'd be like, Dad, don't worry about that, man. Everything cool, you know, I understand, you know. So in that aspect, they understand.
Right. So as we're going to go back to the agriculture part of it, but as we're speaking, you're pretty young still, and the whole issue of diabetes, and you know, there is a saying here that most times men may feel something, but they don't check doctors, and so. And we've heard recently in terms of through the budget presentation, and the Prime Minister mentioning about the sugary drinks and the food and nutrition and so on. How important do you think that is for people to take seriously the consumption of sugary products and health in general, being as you are a living testimony of what are the problems that can arise when one is diagnosed with diabetes?
So, when it comes to sickness in general, and especially diabetes, education is important.
Okay.
Because most people can't tell you what diabetes is. They can tell you what the symptoms of diabetes is, which is high sugar. And that is what most people treat. They treat the symptom of diabetes, but the root cause of diabetes is not something people pay attention to.
Okay.
And contrary to what a lot of people may believe, diabetes is reversible.
Okay.
If you catch diabetes in the right time and you do the right things, it is reversible, especially with the diet. The sugary drinks, complex sugars, they're not good for even healthy people. if you consume the right food, and we could be eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, and we think we're eating the right food and it's healthy, but if it's laced with chemicals and pesticides, it doesn't make sense. Organic. You eat clean, fresh, chemical-free food. A lot of the diseases that people suffer from, we're not going to be having them, because medicine shouldn't be, okay, well, I get sick, let me go to the doctor. You should be treating yourself all the time. You eat proper, you have a healthy immune system, vitamins and everything up to mark before you get sick, because you get sick and then you're running and trying to fix the problem. Damage already done. The people need to just be educated. Like when they diagnose you with a disease, to just tell you, okay, this is what it is. Try to make you understand and have a deep understanding of what it is that you're going through. For example, I was in the hospital the other day. They gave me high blood pressure medication. They didn't tell me anything about it. Like what I could eat, what I can't eat. Me being who I am, I'm like, nurse, can I have grapefruit? She's like, no, you can't eat grapefruit. What if I wasn't smart enough to ask the question? Educate me. Don't just give me a medication. Tell me what it's for. Tell me the downsides. Tell me the ups. Give me all the side effects. Let me make the decision if I want to take this. Don't just put me on it because you're the healthcare provider or whatever. Make me understand. And again, I will just keep reiterating the educational aspect, because if I understood how devastating diabetes is not nothing to play with.
Okay.
Diabetes does affect every aspect of your life, your social life, because I can't tell the last time I go to a party. Like going to a cruise is something totally out of it for me.
Right.
Because that would require me to stand for a very long time.
You can stand for a long time.
Yeah, so a lot of people would see me daily, and they've been seeing me for a lot of years, walking around here looking normal, and everything is just normal. It wasn't an easy journey. I'm not a quitter. So as long as I have life, as long as I can move, I'm gonna fight. The people been telling me, oh, go on seed. Seed can't help me. At the end of the day, if I don't have a viable business and financial freedom, my situation would just deteriorate. Because if I don't have money to pay a doctor, I can't get proper treatment, I can't get proper medication. So the handouts, yeah, it might help in the short term, but in the long run, like, I need to be financially free and be able to take care of myself, because it's like I would just be repeating the cycle. And so this is why I'm not asking for, okay, I need some money to do this.
Right.
I'm reaching out for equipment.
Okay. So that particular equipment that you're looking for now, what type of equipment it is, and how can persons who hear your story here now reach out to you to give you that particular assistance so that you can, purchase the equipment so Eden Farms can operate?
Okay, so Eden Farms is not only the farming. I also want to go into agro processing.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, I grow ginger. I want to be able to process the ginger and make it into a product. Get it on the market locally, try to get it out internationally as well. So processing equipment, it's just not only me in Eden Farms.
Okay.
I have a team.
Okay.
you know. Well, when I say a team, it's just one other person,
Okay.
you know, but we do teas. So tea bag packaging machine, um, uh, mills to grind down, dehydrators to dry, um,
So you already have a
storage.
plan.
Yeah, I wrote, have the business plan and everything.
As we wrap though, any final thing you want to say, any final pitch to get people to understand that your cause is genuine and that you're looking for an avenue to help yourself and your family despite your present challenges?
Well, um, I just want to say, um, this situation, I never thought it would happen to me. It could happen to anybody, any one of us. It could be up today, down tomorrow. Um, Everybody or anybody who going through situations like this, try, keep fighting, because I know you have a lot of disabled people and people that's in my situation, and it seems like there's no way to turn, no help, because I've been trying for a while. It's been over a year. Been trying, reaching out to people, writing proposals, trying to get grants, trying to look for a way forward. Okay. Um he had about it is that as crazy as it may sound, this is not just about me. It's like, and that's why I'm finding it kind of troubling toward it, because disabled people, if we allow them, or if they allow us to determine where we boundaries is, what we could do, what we can't do, because it's like society automatically would assume you can't. Okay, so I'm going through this, but they would still say, okay, somebody would say, so we're fighting up with farming. Allow me to decide, okay, this is where my boundaries is, because you might see me in the garden struggling to move something, and you will just come and say, man, let me help you with that. You see that feeling I would get when they just come and say, let me help you with that? It takes away all my fight. I feel useless. So like I would be home in the garden and somebody would say, right, don't go there. Or why you doing this? Come out in a man, you could damage yourself. It's almost, it feels, it's like you become useless to society.
Right.
So
So importantly so with what you just said, this is the reason why you're putting that pitch for the assistance, because if you get the machinery or the equipment needed, there will no longer be a situation where this one would say, don't go here, don't go there, because the type of machines that you would be getting would assist you to ensure that you remain safe and that you get the work done.
Okay. So in a final word, I just want to say, I just want to be given the chance or an opportunity to do something that I love. Unfortunately, it would require help and assistance and funding. So anybody out there who is capable, who is willing, even if it's sharing my story, I would appreciate it.
Thank you very much. The viewers, we are speaking here with Afibah, correct name, Afibah Mc Queen. As I mentioned in the introductory before our conversation, Afibah is a household name to a lot. He is known by some, and in terms of his work in the music industry, he is a family man. He's also, I would like to say, a farmer. The objective of him coming here on the GIS and sharing his story is the fact that he is looking for assistance. He wants to be able to help himself and his family through his Eden Farms. So whatever contributions you can make, however you can reach out to him, we ask you to do so. You can do so via the numbers that we have put up on the screen, the account numbers. Also, there is a telephone number which you can call so that you can speak to him directly. After all, we have to ensure that everyone is comfortable, and I always believe that anytime someone is trying to help themselves in a positive way, we should give them that extra push. So until next time, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you very much for viewing.